Look, rarely do you get to hear from one of the best players in football, particularly a defensive player. But on this show, that's what you get. Bill safety, Jordan Poyer, 9 interceptions over the last 2 years, second most in the National Football League, all-pro player, leading a top-flight defense, former teammate of my own, former teammate of LeSean McCoy, but now he's a teammate of the show. Speak. Poyer, how you doing, big dog?
I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. I'm doing excellent. Can't complain. It's a blessing to be here. It's awesome to talk to you guys, man. What's up?
Man, well, first let's dive in because from a personal perspective, people don't realize how close you get to teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we played together in Philly 2013. You and Micah Hyde, I believe, best safety tandem in football. Micah Hyde, he goes down. Now your brother next to you, Damar Hamlin, he's now your running mate at safety back in the back end. Damar Hamlin, he goes down. The whole world is praying for him. We've checked in on Damar Hamlin thoroughly, and thankfully he's doing well. We've checked in on Micah Hyde, but how are you mentally? How have you dealt with all that? Let me check in on my bro real quick.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking, man. It's been a wild season. Obviously not over yet. Man, it just, starting from everything that happened in Buffalo, from the shootings back in the, back in the off season to, Mrs. Pagula going through her things. And then, all the injuries that we've gone through this season, Vaughn going down, Micah going down. And then obviously, a couple of weeks ago, D-Ham situation. It's just been, it's been thing after thing after thing. And I honestly think that adversity has brought our team close together throughout everything. And it's been a fun season, man. And obviously we got a big game this weekend we're excited about. I know everybody's excited about. So we just want to keep it going one day at a time. That's really our motto. That's really all we go about. It's just one day at a time, one step at a time. And we want to continue rolling.
JP, take me inside the locker room for a moment. Take the whole viewers inside the locker room. Y'all have a bunch of leaders. You are one of them. Josh Allen is another one of them. Y'all have a bunch of leaders in your coaching positions. Who has been the rock during the course of Vaughn going down, D-Ham getting hurt, Micah Hyde getting hurt? Who has really been that leader, and what have been those moments? What's one word, one quote, one moment that somebody's really stepped up and put an ease to all of the drama y'all have had to deal with?
Yeah, I think you can name, a lot of guys, throughout the entire season. But one in particular, I would just say our head coach, Sean McDermott, especially when D-Ham went down, there wasn't really a whole lot, nobody really knew what to say in the locker room. You could hear a pin drop. And, just the way that Sean and also Zach, too, coach, for the Bengals, the way they handled that situation, and not even like just that situation, the entire season, just keeping us focused, keeping us, locked in on the plan and what's important right now. And, one of the quotes obviously is that you wanted to ask, Sean always puts up on the board, is just Kaizen. It's the word Kaizen, just continuous. So I think, Shady, you probably remember that quote. He's still showing that quote, up on the board, just continuous growth, on and off the field. And, I think, like I said, with all the adversity that we've dealt with throughout the season, Sean has been that great leader that has stepped in. And like I said, we've got a lot of great leaders as players on the team, too. Josh, obviously, being one of them. Vaughn, he's hurt right now, but being a huge leader talking to us, day in and day out, just continuing to keep us motivated. And, it's been it's hard to pinpoint one in particular just because we got so many guys on the football team.
Let me ask you this, JP. Let me ask you this. Was LeSean McCoy a leader?
Of course he was. 100%.
Don't lie to the camera now.
In his own way. He was in his own way. In his own way, man.
It's crazy that McDermott still had the same quotes, even when I was back there. And I just went back to see the game, 2 weeks ago that was, and seeing all my old brothers and hearing you talking about this, like the family, from Sean McDermott, huddling the guys around, and Trey White, and then Micah Hyde, like all the brothers. I just want to talk about that, man, because when I was there with you, that's what it was really about. And now that you're getting your brother Micah back for this game, he told me he was getting healthy, he might play. What's it going to take for you guys to win this game? This is a big game. This is a big game.
Big game. Yeah, it's a huge game. I mean, every game is a big game. That's another, you Coach Frage comes in the meeting every week, and he has Tremaine Edmonds, hey, Tremaine, why is this a big game? And man, same answer every single week. It's because it's the next game. And, that's just the mindset that we have. And, and obviously, the Bengals, red hot, got all the talent in the world. We're talented too. It's going to be a good football game. and you know, we're excited to play in this atmosphere. We've earned this right to be able to play a game at home, another playoff game at home, and you know, it's gonna take a lot to win it for sure, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. One play at a time, and just continue to play each and every down. Most of these games are gonna come down to whoever has the ball less, or whoever makes the last play of the game. So you just got to continue to keep playing. You know, there's gonna be some plays that happen throughout the game. You know, they're gonna get their fair share of plays, but just continue to keep playing, and until that whistle blows at the end, you look up at the scoreboard.
JP, when you're on the sideline, when you're on the bench, you're drinking your Gatorade in your little cup, there are no scarier words to hear as a defensive player than sudden change.
Oh, sudden change?
There ain't nothing scarier than to hear sudden change. Sudden change for the viewers at home, that means the offense has just turned the ball over. Well, this last game against the Miami Dolphins, y'all heard sudden change a whole lot.
Yeah.
What goes into your mind when you see Josh Allen, who is a beast, throw a pick, and now you have to jog back out there on the football field and try to win the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game, right? You know, it's obviously you don't want to hear it all the time, but at the same time, you know, our defense we've been in all sorts of situations, and we play together for such a long time that, you know, when a sudden change happens, we bring it up, and it's just like, yo, this is a situation right here. We got to be able to handle this situation, whether it's, you know, a sudden change and they have the ball inside of the 50, and we have to get them to either kick a field goal or punt the ball 3 and out. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain, you know, situations, just being able to handle each situation and not ever get too high, not ever get too low within a game. Because like I said earlier, most games you see, most of these playoff games, except last night, are coming down to the last plays. Whoever has the ball last, whoever's making the very last play of the game. And so, you know, just continue to be able to handle each situation, because, you know, you never know if that's the situation that's going to change the entire game. So, you know, you can never get too high, never get too low in these type of games. And like I said, you just got to continue to keep playing. We got a lot of good guys on that defensive side of the football that, you know, no matter what the situation is, we're just going to go out there and try to handle it.
Jordan, Josh Allen is obviously a superstar now. And even though he did have some struggles last game, he really, to me, has shown a lot of leadership. We've seen a little bit of a different side of his personality this year. But bring us into the personality of Josh Allen and what has really made him emerge in this league as a star.
Yeah, you know, I always tell people when I talk about him that it's awesome to see, because I was here when they drafted him in 2018, I believe it was the year, and just to see his growth, not only on the field but off the field, you know, just his ability to take command of that offense now and really be, you know, like you said, a superstar, you know, the face of our franchise and one of the faces of the NFL. So it's awesome to see him in the community, just the impact that he has in the Buffalo community. And, you know, he's just goofy, man. Around the locker room, he's a goofy dude. I always want to crack jokes, you know, always kind of doing some weird stuff sometimes, but, you know, that's just who he is. You know, he's just always cracking jokes. He's always got some, you know, we have a captain's meeting every Friday, and you know, he always has a joke, and some weeks it's pretty, you know, some of the older coaches, they don't necessarily like it. The younger guys are laughing at it. The older coaches are like, oh, but, you know, that's just who he is, man. He's just a jokester, but, you know, he's a ball player, though. I love playing. I love being teammates with him, man. I'll go to war with Josh any day of the week. And look, you know, this is the NFL. He's gonna have mistakes, and I'm gonna be right there to back him up whenever, whatever situation it is. And so,
no doubt.
you know, it's fun to be his teammate, though.
Hey, Jordan, I'm curious. Obviously, the priority was always DeMar's health and well-being, and we're so happy that story had a happy ending. But it creates a little bit of an unprecedented situation for y'all, just in the sense that, you know, you were playing the Cincinnati Bengals, who you have this weekend. I'm just curious, how useful is that experience, you know, game planning for that opponent just 2 or 3 weeks ago? I mean, is that useful for y'all heading into a playoff game? Like, how much do you get out of that experience from a football perspective now that you're able to focus on football?
Yeah, actually, during my massage a couple hours ago, I was the first time I watched the tape that there was only 8 plays from that game. Right. So, you know, you can kind of get a sense of how they were going to, you know, trying to attack you. But I'm sure, you know, both coaches are smart. There's going to be, you know, different sort of wrinkle here and there. And at the end of the day, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be two good football teams playing each other. And, you know, going to be a chess match between coaches. And so, like I said, we're excited about the opportunity. Yeah, there's a little bit you can take from that game. You know, but we're playing at home now. You know, they got to come to us. Weather's going to be a little bit different. Might be a little bit more chilly, more snow. You know, little different ways that could affect the game. But, you know, like I said, we're excited to play. And I know the world's excited to watch. So we're going to put on the show.
Hey, I could rap with you forever. We got like 3-4 more minutes. Here's one of my most important questions. You chose to drive from Buffalo all the way to Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken, because you had like a bruised lung, a punctured lung. Just let me hype you up for a second, okay? You had like a bruised lung or something, and you drove 15 hours, you know, all the way over there. Nobody would have faulted you if you didn't want to make that drive and you didn't want to play in that game because of what you were playing through. Why was it so important to you to be on the field and drive 15 hours in an unprecedented act for your team?
You know, I love these boys, man. You know, I've really just tried to put a different perspective on this entire season, really. Been with these boys a long time. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen after this season. And so for me, it's whatever I can do for these boys to help, whatever I can do to help our football team win games, I'm going to do it. So when they gave me the green light that looked like you can play, but it's not safe for you to drive, I was like, okay, well, what are we doing? Or it's not safe for you to fly. It's like, okay, well, what are we doing? And they're like, okay, well, this is what we can do. And I guess Deshaun Watson did it a couple years back where he had to drive from Houston, I think, to Jacksonville because of a rib issue. So I was
did you drive or did you have a driver?
Hell no, I didn't drive. we had a driver. So we was in the back, me, my wife, and my daughter. My daughter's a trooper, man. We drove the first 8 hours to Indianapolis, stayed the night in Indy, and then we met the team in KC the next day on that Saturday. And right after the game, the RV was right under the stadium. You know, my wife and my daughter hopped in.
You got RV treatment now. That's that all-pro treatment, huh, Shady?
Yeah.
Shady, you had an RV waiting for you after that?
Nah, I didn't.
Never had an RV waiting for you?
I never had nothing like that.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
Man, we go way back, even to Philadelphia days where he was just trying to make it. Now he the man.
Hey, trying to make it. I was just trying to make it.
Talk to me about this. This is my last serious question, and then we're going to have a little bit more fun before we let you go. 2013, you're in Philadelphia. You get cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. You go to the Cleveland Browns. You stay in Cleveland for 4 years. After getting cut in 2013, by 2021, you're a first-team All-Pro. 2022, you're a Pro Bowl player. Tell not only me, but every kid and or parent watching you right now around the world, around the country, rather, what did it take to go from being cut to being All-Pro?
Man, I mean, how long we got? But really, the short of it, I mean, it's all a mindset, man. This was a dream of mine ever since I was younger, and I always told myself as long as I had a foot in the door, I was just going to take full advantage of it. And honestly, after I got cut from Philly, I remember calling my agent. I was so mad because, you know, I worked so hard to make the team. And I really want to be a part of that team.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed being on that team. And you know, I remember, Howie didn't even, I didn't even see him face to face. I remember it was on the phone call. After it was a Friday practice, they called me up to the office like, hey, Jordan, you know, we're going to have to release you.
Howie.
I was mad as hell. I called my agent. I'm like, yo, like, I'm this is it, man. I don't want to play no more. This is it. I was mad as shit. And he's like, bro, just settle down. We're going to guarantee your team. I go to Cleveland the next day. And, you know, like I said, once I got my foot in the door, I met great guys out in Cleveland, Joe Hayden, Dante Whitner, man. There's just like guys that, you know, I saw that I admired, and, you know, I got to learn the game from. And, you know, ever since then, I just kind of continue to just mold the game into my own self. And like I said, 10 years later, 9 years later, I turned All-Pro. Now I'm a Pro Bowler. So it's
hey, say it with your chest, bro. No.
They call me All-Pro Pro now. So you know what I mean?
You're not gonna stumble on that.
All-Pro Pro. That's it.
I would say it. So you've said. I do want to ask you one question before you leave. You talked about Josh Allen, how good of a leader he is, how great of a player he is. Now, you do have Joe Burrow coming up.
Ooh.
And I know you watch a lot of tape. You know, JP, he works super hard.
He does.
So can you talk about just the things you've seen on tape and defending him this week, what that looks like?
Yeah, man. His timing is absolutely just his timing with his receivers is amazing, really. You know, he's throwing his receivers open. He's throwing the ball before his receivers are getting out of breaks. He's super smart, and it's not like they have a super complicated offense either. It's just he really knows and understands defenses. They're able to spread you out and able to undress your defense. So he's able to understand, you know, see the defense before, you know, and undress the hand. And, you know, he's, like I said, he's throwing his receivers open. He's throwing his receivers before they get out of breaks. And he trusts his receivers more than he trusted, or more than he, you know, he believes his receivers are going to go make the play more than he thinks the DBs are going to go make the play. So one-on-one situations down the field, he'll throw the ball down the field knowing that, you know, Chase is going to go up or Boyd's going to go up, or, you know, any of them are going to go up and they're going to make the play, or nobody's going to make the play. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, balls in the air where you're going to have to be able to make a play on the football and be strong at the point of attack. So it's going to be a fun game, man. It's going to be a chess match. And, you know, I got a lot of respect for this football team. You always respect your opponent, but in particular this football team and Joe Burrow and what he's been able to do, you know, ever since watching him in college and seeing where he's at now. So I'm excited about the matchup, and you know, we're like I said, we're all excited about the opportunity to go out there and play at home, another home playoff game at the crib. Bills Mafia is going to be crazy, breaking tables. It's going to be lit.
Hey, last one for you, man. Clearly you be balling on the field. 9 interceptions last 2 years, second most in the NFL at the safety position. Talk to me about your brand off the field. I see the logo on the hat.
Yes, sir.
I see what you build, and I know you're a brilliant person on and off the field.
Just starting to continue to build, man. You know, obviously a lot of people know about my alcohol story. I'm about to be 3 years sober from alcohol. It's awesome. I appreciate it, man. So I'm just trying to continue to use my voice, man. I've been able to build this platform and been able to help a lot of people off the field, and that is just as much gratitude as I get on the field. And so, like I said, I got the JP brand. It's on my website. If you guys want to check it out.
What's the website?
Yeah, what is it?
shopjpoyer.com. So check it out. It's on my link tree on my Instagram, jpoyer21. So yeah, check it out, man. I appreciate it. Bad Birdie, also shout out Bad Birdie. I had to shout them out. They hooked me up with this. Bad Birdie's a little golfing outfit. So I like to golf a lot of golf in the off season. So
we'll take a shot of water at the Super Bowl. How about that?
Yes, sir. I love that.
Shot of water.
Appreciate you. That's my dog.
Hey, you the man, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your career.
Guys.
I'm proud of what you've overcome,
Thank you so much.
man. You keep doing your thing on and off the field, bro. You got a fan in this show for life.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.